Do you know words like left, right, and straight on, but still feel nervous when someone asks you for directions in English?
Then this lesson is for you.
Our lessons are built to help you understand the topic more easily. First, we give you a real dialogue so you can hear the English naturally in context.
Then we come back and explain the most useful phrases step by step, so the topic feels clearer and easier to use.
And remember, you can switch the subtitles into your own language if that helps you follow the lesson more easily. Now, let's get into the conversation. Hi, Daniel. Today's topic is one of the most useful real-life topics in English.
Hi, Ava. Yes, definitely. Directions come up all the time when you're traveling, walking through a city, trying to find a station, looking for a cafe, or helping someone who's a bit lost.
Exactly. And I think many learners know the basic words, but they still don't feel confident using them in real conversation.
That's very true. People often know left, right, and straight on, but they don't always know how to build natural, helpful directions. So let's start with a simple question. If someone stops you in the street and says, "Excuse me, how do I get to the station?" How would you begin?
I'd probably start with something simple like sure or yes, of course, and then I'd give the directions step by step.
That already sounds natural. So what kind of phrases do people usually use first?
Usually, things like go straight on, turn left, turn right, it's on your left, it's on your right, keep going, you'll see it ahead of you. Those are some of the most common ones.
Yes, definitely. And I think go straight on is one of those words learners hear a lot, but they're not always sure when to use it.
It just means continue forward without turning. Very simple, but very useful.
So let's imagine I ask you, "Excuse me, how do I get to the bus station?"
Okay, I might say, go straight on for about 5 minutes, then turn left at the traffic lights. Keep going, and you'll see the bus station on your right.
That sounds very natural, clear, simple, and step by step. I think that's the key with directions. You don't need complicated English, but you do need useful structure.
You're right. Directions should feel easy to follow. If they become too long or too detailed, people get confused very quickly.
That's such a good point. So when giving directions, short steps are usually better than one long explanation.
Yes, definitely. It's usually better to give directions in small pieces. First this, then that, then you'll see it.
What if the place is very close?
Then you can say things like, it's just around the corner. It's not far from here. It's just up the road. It's only a couple of minutes away.
Those are great. I especially like just around the corner because it sounds very natural.
Yes, that's a really common one. It means very close, usually after one turn.
And what if the place is farther away?
Then you might say, it's quite a long walk. It's about 10 minutes from here. You're better off taking a bus. It's a bit too far to walk.
That's really useful too, because sometimes what people really want to know is whether they can walk there easily or not. What about landmarks? I feel like people use landmarks a lot when giving directions.
Yes, definitely. Landmarks make directions much easier to follow. People say things like, go past the bank. It's next to the supermarket. It's opposite the post office. It's near the bridge. You'll see a church on the corner. Go past the park and keep walking.
So directions are often not only left and right, they're also about what you can see.
Exactly. Good directions usually mix turns with visual points.
That's such a strong line. Turns with visual points. I really like that. So what if someone doesn't know the answer? What should they say politely?
That's important too. You can say, sorry, I'm not sure. Sorry, I don't know this area very well. I'm afraid I can't help. You could try asking someone else.
It's much better to be polite and honest than to give bad directions.
Definitely. Wrong directions are worse than no directions.
That's very true. What about checking understanding? If you're giving directions, can you ask whether the person understands?
Yes, of course. You can say, does that make sense? Do you know where the traffic lights are? Have you got that? Is that clear?
That sounds very natural. And if you're the person asking, how can you check something?
You might say, so I go straight on, then left? Sorry, did you say right or left? Is it far from here? How long does it take on foot?
I think learners often forget that directions are usually a two-way interaction, not just one person speaking.
Exactly. Real directions often include checking, repeating, confirming, and clarifying.
That makes a lot of sense. So what if someone gives directions too fast?
Then you can say, sorry, could you say that again? Could you speak a little more slowly? Sorry, I didn't catch that. Can you show me on the map?
That last one is especially useful these days.
Yes, definitely. A map can make everything much easier. What about phrases like next to, opposite, and between? They seem very important here, too.
Absolutely. Those are essential for describing location. For example, it's next to the bank. It's opposite the station. It's between the cafe and the bookshop. It's at the end of the street. It's on the corner.
Those are so useful, and they help you describe exactly where something is once the person gets close.
Yes, exactly. The first part of directions is often movement, and the second part is often final position.
That's such a good explanation. So movement, go straight, turn left, cross the road, and final position. It's on the left, it's next to the bank, it's opposite the station.
Exactly. That's a very useful way to think about it.
What if someone is driving, not walking? Do directions change a little?
Yes, sometimes. Then you may hear things like take the first left, take the second right, go through the roundabout. At the roundabout, take the second exit. Keep going until you reach the junction.
That's great. So directions can be simple for walking, but a little more specific for driving.
Yes, definitely. But the general idea is still the same. Clear steps in the right order.
So if someone asked you now, what makes directions easy to understand, what would you say?
I'd say good directions are short, clear, and organized step by step. They usually include simple actions, useful landmarks, and a final location.
That sounds like such a good summary.
Yes, because directions are practical English. They don't need to sound clever, they need to be easy to follow.
That's exactly right. And I think that's what makes this topic so useful. It's everyday English, real-life English, and very easy to imagine using. Now let's look at the key phrases from the dialogue and see how to talk about directions in English more naturally.
Yes, because this topic is not only about a few basic words, it's also about how to organize the information clearly and helpfully.
Let's start with the most common movement phrases. These are the ones people use all the time. Go straight on, turn left, turn right, keep going, cross the road, go past the bank.
These are the building blocks of directions.
Perfect. Very simple, but absolutely essential. Now, when the place is close, people often use short, natural phrases like these. It's just around the corner. It's not far from here. It's just up the road. It's only a couple of minutes away.
These are really useful because sometimes people want distance, not detailed steps.
Yes, definitely. And if the place is farther away, these phrases help a lot. It's about 10 minutes from here. It's quite a long walk. It's a bit too far to walk. You're better off taking a bus.
Again, very practical and very natural.
Now let's talk about landmarks and final position, because that makes directions much easier to follow. Useful phrases here are, it's next to the supermarket, it's opposite the station, it's between the cafe and the bookshop, it's on your left, it's on your right, it's on the corner, it's at the end of the street.
These are great because they help the listener recognize the place when they get close.
Yes, and that's a very important part of giving directions naturally. If you need to ask for directions, these are some of the most useful phrases. Excuse me, how do I get to the station? Excuse me, where's the nearest bus stop? Is it far from here? How long does it take on foot? Can you show me on the map?
Those are excellent survival phrases.
Yes, short, polite, and very useful. And if someone speaks too quickly or you need to check something, these phrases really help. Sorry, could you say that again? Could you speak a little more slowly? Sorry, I didn't catch that. So I go straight on, then left. Did you say right or left?
These are extremely useful because real directions are often interactive.
Exactly. You don't have to understand everything immediately, you can check and confirm. And finally, if you don't know the answer, these polite phrases are useful too. Sorry, I'm not sure. Sorry, I don't know this area very well. I'm afraid I can't help. You could try asking someone else.
That's much better than pretending you know the answer.
Definitely. So, if we bring the key language together, here are some of the most useful phrases from today's lesson. How do I get to? Go straight on. Turn left or right. Keep going. It's just around the corner. It's not far from here. It's next to. It's opposite. It's on the corner. It's at the end of the street. Could you say that again? Did you say right or left? I'm not sure, sorry.
That's a really strong set of phrases.
Yes, and all of them are very useful in real-life English. And now let's put everything together into one natural answer. If someone asks me for directions, I try to keep them short and clear. I usually give simple steps like go straight on, turn left, and keep going. I also try to use landmarks because they make directions easier to follow. If the place is close, I might say it's just around the corner. Overall, I think the best directions are simple, practical, and easy to remember.
That sounds clear, natural, and very easy to use.
Now let's practice a little. How do you ask for directions?
Excuse me, how do I get to the...
How do you tell someone to continue forward?
Go straight on.
How do you say the place is very close?
It's just around the corner, or it's not far from here.
How do you describe final position?
It's next to, or it's opposite.
And what do you say if you didn't understand?
Sorry, could you say that again?
So, as you can see, talking about directions in English is not about difficult grammar.
It's about simple, natural phrases that help you ask, explain, and understand where to go.
And that's what makes your English sound more useful, more natural, and more confident in real life.
And if you enjoy lessons like this, don't forget to subscribe.
It really helps the channel grow and reach more people.
And it helps more learners practice real, natural English.
So, subscribe, keep learning, and we'll see you in the next lesson.
Bye.